Hi, I'm Amanda, the Emotional Strength Trainer. Thanks so much for hitting the go button on this week's video. I hope you're enjoying the series. They will keep going until we run out of things to talk about. So make sure that you leave comments below to let me know if there's anything that you would like me to string together for you. Okay, so this week we're going to talk about a biggie, insomnia. Now there's many aspects associated with insomnia, and those of you who have it will know that you function on the smallest amount of sleep, but unfortunately there's plenty of science around that shows that we need sleep in order to be healthy. So if you're a regular insomnia sufferer or a sporadic insomnia sufferer, it's doing you no good. So let's string some stuff together for you today. Okay, so as you know, this is the book that I use to help me string together the reasons why people are coming into my practice sick and tired of being sick and tired. Okay, so let's have a look at insomnia. Fear, not trusting the process of life, guilt. Okay, and there's a new thought pattern that I haven't spoken about before in my previous videos, but this one's quite cool. I lovingly release the day and slip into peaceful sleep, knowing tomorrow will take care of itself. Now that's an interesting affirmation to say, knowing that things will take care of itself. One of the other aspects that is very important in understanding insomnia is the Chinese body clock. So here is the other point of reference that I use. This is a neuroemotional technique sheet that lists out the organs in the body and emotions associated with the organs as developed by a chiropractor some time ago, Dr. Scott Walker, in 1989 in fact. Now this is a great sheet because it also brings in the time of day that these situations can have little bits of the puzzle put back in. Okay, so first of all, scratch the surface of somebody with chronic insomnia and you can be assured that they have had a significant amount of emotional trauma in their life. It's probably a good time to talk about emotional trauma meaning different things for different people. No two emotional traumas are going to be the same. It's like a fingerprint. We all have a soul and we came here to experience what our soul needs us to experience this lifetime. So if your soul experience means that as a child you were shut in cupboards and that created a PTSD response for you in your adult life, but then you thought you'd done the work, and as an adult you feeling like being shut in a cupboard wasn't something that was that traumatic, then speaking up about it might be missed. Or if you're somebody that had your parents take something away from you in your teenage years and blame you for something, but essentially it was a lie, and then it triggers a response that every time you get something that you want, that it's going to be taken away from you, that's a trauma. But then to say that out loud when you're working with somebody like me, it could be like, oh, that couldn't be it. It's very important to understand, especially with insomnia, that over time, and this is to chronic insomnia sufferers, if you've had major things over your lifetime that you've had to get counselling for, see a psychologist, any of those sorts of things, and your insomnia is still part of the deal, then these are things that need to be shifted out of your energy system. And that's why I'm hoping that these video series will also bring light to people around energy workers and the people who can help you shift things for good. The work that I do is soul-based work, so it's the surface things, but we can also go digging and get down to the nitty-gritty. Now with insomnia, you have major things going on in your life, and no matter how that's showing up, it's causing you enough that your brain activity cannot slow down, And that's one of the biggest things I see in my practice, the crown chakra. That's the first chakra I work on, and holy dooly, the stuff that can come pouring out that is decades old is incredible. And that's the first release, getting this brain activity down. So let's have a look at some times. So these are if you're going to sleep and waking up, or if you are not able to go to sleep until, okay, and I can explain a little bit of those. So let's have a look. If you are somebody that's waking up between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m., that's the gallbladder time of the day, when your gallbladder is doing its work. And guess what emotion it's associated to? Resentment. Okay, so then your next one, if you're waking up between 1 and 3 a.m., that's liver. Okay, and liver is associated with anger. All right, so is this making sense for you? There's another time, that's the, let me have a look here. Okay, so going to sleep between 5 and 7 a.m., large intestine, dogmatically positioned, crying, compelled to neatness, defensiveness. Okay, so that's often that time of day where you go into that coma sleep. All right. Now the other good one to work with is if you're waking up at 3 to 5 a.m. or also if you're going to sleep at 3 to 5 a.m. This is the lung period of time, and this is associated with grief. Now the reason why I say going to sleep or waking up at the same time, one of the things that our brain does is puts us into a state where our subconscious can do the work. And grief is a big one. Okay, so if you have issues in your life where you have had relationships that have just, had you questioning why your soul has that agreement, waking up at that time is when it's sort of coming to light and your brain's active and you're dealing with it again. The other end of it is going to sleep, because your brain, the traumatic impact is so large that the subconscious is going to do the work for you. Okay, so hopefully that makes some sense for you. Okay, so let me remind you of the people that can help you with this. Me, the emotional strength trainer, and you can find my website amandafoy.com.au, and there's a work with me column. If you also would prefer, because all of my work is remote, I have clients all over the world, if you would prefer having a practitioner that you can work with in real life, look for acupuncturists, EFT practitioners, emotional freedom technique practitioners. Naturopaths are also a very good thing. Diet can be involved with insomnia, especially if you're high caffeine. There's a whole heap of positive actions you can take with what you're putting in your mouth or into your body that will also support the emotional journey. Okay, so good disclaimer time. This isn't a one-time fix-all. Think of that proverbial onion. You've got layers, and especially if you've had a lot of trauma in your life or you've hung on to it, then that's where you want to step into making sure that you've got all other aspects. The chiropractor, again, remedial massage, get that immune system going, get that flow going in your spine and all of the parts of the body that come from that. Bioresonance therapists, all sorts of things. Okay, so there's a whole myriad of practitioners that can help you with this one, but I'm hoping that information will help you see how you can start to get a handle on your insomnia, because sleep is very important on a cellular level to ensure that your immune system is doing its job, and we need rest, okay, and we want to be on top of our game. So I hope that is helpful. I look forward to seeing you next week. I haven't had anybody suggest anything new from me for next week, so if you have something, do leave a message below, or find me on Facebook, amandafoy.official, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.